Sorry, Farisha, you should have recorded it a little bit before to capture the
Yes,
impact.
yes, I missed that.
Hey, hi Asma. So never mind. If whether you want to put it on the chat over here, whether you want to give the testimonial on WhatsApp, on the Telegram group, on email, please do that. It would be a big confidence booster for AFH also for all the work that the team is doing. Thank you. Preeti, all yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining in. Welcome to the last job readiness session in this series, which is on the wheel of life, work, life, and priorities. And I'm Preeti Bhaskaran, lead corporate partnerships at Aspire for Her. So like I mentioned, we had a series of job readiness sessions as well as returnee success stories, which started from the 21st of August. And this is, the last session in this series, which is a precursor to our upcoming job fair in the month of September. We'll talk more about the job fair. And, the topic today, like I mentioned, is the wheel of life, work, life, and priorities. So what exactly is the wheel of life? Any thoughts? If you could put down your thoughts in the chat box, what is it that you're expecting? What is your understanding of this topic? It would be great to hear some thoughts, views. Work-life balance. Durga Devi says work-life balance. Great. Any other thought? What is your understanding of the wheel of life? And why is it that you're here? Like any specific thing that you're looking at, gaining from this session, we would love to hear, your thoughts. You can put it down in the chat box. Anybody else who would like to share their thoughts? So work-life balance. All right. Anything else?
My thinking is like we started out work journey and all, and for whatever reason we put a pause to it. Now again we are restarting it. It's kind of just a pause which is there now. Now we are again kind of my thinking of it.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So there's no really right or wrong answer. Namita also says coming back from a setback. Okay, thank you. Learning about priorities. Thank you. Thank you so much. So basically, when we look at the wheel of life, what happens is when life becomes busy, usually, it's pretty easy to kind of find yourself off balance, wherein, you might not pay enough attention to some of the important areas of your life, right? And especially when one is kind of getting back to the workforce after a career break, this can be quite challenging and daunting to balance the demands of both a full-time job as well as personal responsibilities. And what the wheel of life helps you is basically identify areas that need more attention and focus. And it helps you create a mindful connection with your, daily routine. And that's why today we have an expert speaker, Sangeeta Rajan. She's the founder director at the Arts Quotient. And she will be taking us through this topic and help us map different aspects of our life and also help us create an action plan on managing each of these priorities and also our well-being. And just before we move on, would like to again mention that we have this upcoming job fair in the month of September. We have the physical job fair on 9th of September in Bangalore, and we have the virtual job fair, which is on the 14th and 15th of September. And the organizations that are going to be participating, we have Capgemini, we have Zensar, we have NatWest, we have 24/7 AI, and we have Havas Group. And they'll be offering the job opportunities. Apart from, obviously the jobs, we also have a bunch of other job readiness sessions at the physical job fair, which is around confidence building, around LinkedIn profile optimization, around elevating your executive presence, also overcoming the imposter syndrome barriers. So, if you have not already applied, please make sure you apply now. And the job fair is, obviously not just about jobs. So anybody who's there in Bangalore, please make sure you come by, take benefit of, obviously if you have applied, you will get to know whether you are shortlisted, but there are a lot of speaker sessions that I mentioned. There are mentoring sessions. And then there is obviously the great opportunity to network. We'll be sharing the link for application in the chat box shortly. And now I would like Ruchita Tandon, our Chief Growth Officer, to address the audience and say a few words, please.
Thank you so much, Preeti. Hi, everyone. I'm Ruchita. I'm the Chief Growth Officer at Aspire for Her. I think all of you know me by now. But one thing that you all also know is that I've had a career gap of 22 years. I hope you are all aware. And if I can do it, so can you. And the number of years in your gap actually does not matter. It is your attitude which needs to come forward. And I'm telling this to you out of experience. And believe me, a few days and a few weeks that pass by, you feel like you've never left this workplace. The job. After attending all of these, my first question is, what's the energy of the room? How energetic are you today? You can raise your hand, you can put your cameras on, you can do whatever. Where is the energy today? What is your energy level? Fantastic. I see Tanya also with a thumbs up. Amazing. Fully energized. Thank you so much, Sunita. Thanks for putting it in the chat box. How many of you have applied for the jobs? Fantastic. That's a good number. And I can tell you that almost everyone over here is going to probably make it for these jobs. And even if you don't make it, it's a great learning because you've learned a lot. It is your experience that's going to take you to the next level. We've spent our efforts in preparing you for job readiness sessions. But today's session is something very different. We are going to see what happens once you get a job. And this is something which normally gets missed out in job readiness sessions. We have experts. How soon will you come to know? So this question is by Anuradha. Anuradha, have you applied for the jobs, right? Are you based out of Bangalore?
No, not out of Bangalore, Mumbai.
So that's okay. So, believe me, we've got close to 3,300 applications. Okay. These are all of women returnees. Today, the corporates also are finding it very tough. They need time. So it might happen little last minute, but please bear with us. 3,300 is the number of women who have been on a career break who have applied to this job fair. So please be patient.
Sure.
And now to the expert, an expert who's been in this, has been doing this for women on a career break. And I'm sure today's insights are going to be at another level. With great pleasure, we'd like to welcome Sangeeta Rajan. And sorry, this session had not been an immediate continuation of the last, because when we talked to Sangeeta and understood what she wants to cover, we felt that this session definitely needs to be there. With this, and this being the last session before I take off from here, wishing you all the best. The full AFH team is going to be in Bangalore. I think I was lost. I wish all the best to everyone. Our full AFH team in Bangalore happened to be in touch with all of us at the venue. Thank you so much. Over to you, Preeti.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ruchita. Before we just get started, there are a couple of poll questions that we would like to put forth so that we understand the audience a little better. So requesting everybody to participate and requesting Farisha to please launch the poll. So we just wanted to understand, like, which community you are a part of. It's likely that, a lot of you are returnees and wanting to get back, but still trying to understand a little bit if there are some students maybe who are also looking out for jobs, and which stage of the job application process you are currently in, whether you have already applied, whether you are yet to apply, whether, you're not eligible to apply currently, just to understand the audience a little better. So we'll just keep it open for a couple of seconds. So yeah, there are, I think, yeah, most of you are obviously returnees. There are some who are okay. Emerging professionals, okay. All right, I think we can close the poll, Farisha. All right, so moving on, it gives me great pleasure to introduce you all to our expert speaker for today, Sangeeta Rajan. And Dr. Sangeeta Rajan is a people development professional with experience in the classroom, online learning, and psychometrics. She started her career at ICICI Bank and branched off in 2005 to consult corporates in the domain of learning. She holds a master's in psychology, an LLB, a PGD in PM and IR from XLRI, and a PhD from TIS. Sangeeta is also a renowned Odissi dancer and applies her insights from multiple disciplines to the process of people development. A warm welcome to you, Sangeeta. We are really thrilled to have you on our platform and take this session. Everybody in the audience, I'm sure, has been looking forward to this session. Without further ado, I'm handing this over to you. So over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Preeti. Firstly, thank you to the Aspire for Her team for inviting me to do this session. It's really exciting to see the work that you have been doing over time, bringing women together, bringing women professionals together, creating these networks, because I think women supporting women is a very big part of our story. And it's really kudos to the Aspire for Her team for making this possible. And it's also exciting to see that there are so many women who are returning to work, and there are programs that are systematic ways in which this thing is getting done, and people are getting access to information, to resources. All this was not there. Like even 10, 15 years ago, these things were not an option. And such a lot of information is available now. So it's lovely to see all this coming together and to be a very, very small part of that process. So thank you. Thank you for having me today. As Preeti said, we will be talking about the wheel of life. And many of you said it's going to be about work-life balance. It's going to be about prioritization. Absolutely. We're going to talk about all of that. I think in the larger scheme of things, the main point, the purpose of this session is to clarify for ourselves how we feel about work or career in the context of everything else in our lives. See, women, we all have a lot going on in life. There's usually tons of things happening at any one time. And as a result, I have seen women I coach, women I work with, my women friends feel torn. You feel divided between the different things that are happening. So do I take care of a sick child at home, or do I put in additional hours at work? It's actually a bit of a trade-off. And how do I resolve these kind of dilemmas that come up? So this kind of, feeling torn comes into our voices. It comes into our narrative. It comes into the way we present ourselves, even in an interview. So there's this hesitation, there's a tentative sort of a feeling. Should I apply? What will it be like? What will office hours be? There's a lot of questions that come up that sort of hold us back from really pushing ourselves and making ourselves heard and showing who we are and what we are capable of. So I'm hoping at the end of the session today, this very short session, so it's just a jhalak, but I hope that you will have one tool or one technique, something that you can do so that you can present yourself more strongly, feeling more sorted in your mind about this push and pull that we're going to be facing. And in any transition, the push and pull is going to sort of escalate. So feel sorted about that. Know that this is what is going to happen. Have an action plan to deal with that and be able to present ourselves in a compelling way. So that's really the purpose of the session today. Does that work? Yeah. So let's just dive into it. How you invest your energy, where you contribute your time, affects the person that you become. There are many things that we have going on in our lives, and we have the option to invest in any of them. There will be spaces in which you feel stable and secure, and there will be aspects of life where there are gaps, where things are very uncertain, where we don't know how we are doing. So we're going to use a framework inspired by the work of the International Coaching Federation that looks at 8 primary aspects of life. Moksha, I'm going to ask you to share that slide, with the Wheel of Life template. I hope you all have paper and pencil, pen, something to write. Yeah. Deepa, I see you have raised your hand. You have a question for me now? Or was that from before? Maybe it was from before. Okay.
It's like it's from before. Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. So,
Sorry, it was from before. I'm sorry.
okay, no problem, no problem. So I hope you have some paper, pen, some writing material. This is what a Wheel of Life template looks like, and we put 8 dimensions of life onto it. Can you just, at this moment, copy this onto a piece of paper? Okay, and I'm going to walk you through what each of those parameters means. So what is fun, recreation, renewal? How do we define it? Money, finance, how do we define it? We'll walk you through each of them. And what I want you to do is, as I walk you through it, rate yourself on a scale of 10. 1 means you're not at all happy with that part of your life. You're not investing any time, energy into that part of your life. And 10 means you are investing a lot of time and effort and energy into that. That is the part that you're, that's sort of the focus of your life now. So I'll walk you through the definitions of each. Can we go to the next slide, Moksha? Firstly, money. Okay, some questions to prompt your rating from 1 to 10. Do you know what it is that you need on a monthly basis? Do you have any large credit card bills or loans? Do you save at least 10% of your income? How well do you manage your expenses, investments, and savings? Would you like to have financial independence? These are just some prompts to guide your rating. If you have a yes for most of these questions, except the one on loans and credit card bills, then you would give yourself a higher score. If it's a no or a maybe, then maybe think about your score. So how stable do you feel on this aspect of your life? Career, are you enjoying your work? If you've already been doing something towards it, or if you've been doing some part-time work, some consulting work, even if you are returned to work and you've taken a gap, but are there some things you're doing towards your career? Do you have a plan in place to improve your career prospects? So where are you on this aspect of your life? Learning and growth. Are you investing in your learning? What courses have you been doing? Have you enhanced your knowledge and skills? Is there anything that you want to change or learn? Are you focusing on this at all at this moment? The next one is love, marriage, partner. So what is your relationship status? Are you single? Are you in a relationship? Are you married? Do you spend time with your partner? Are you able to communicate? Are things going well? If you're not currently in a relationship, are you happy with where you are? How much time, effort, energy are you putting into this aspect of your life? Family or home is another aspect separate from your partnership, which is, how often do you see your near and dear ones? This could be your children, this could be parents, could be your in-laws, it could be family, immediate relatives. Who haven't you spoken to recently? Are you meaning to call people but not had time? Are you happy with your home? Are you spending time to make it a beautiful place, a place of retreat for yourself? Social and community life is about, a broader life within the community. Are you part of any social groups outside of work, a club, a religious group, a volunteer group? Are you into any social activities in your free time? Do you catch up with friends, batchmates, ex-colleagues from far back? Do you meet them, hang out? What's going on over here? The next parameter, if we could go to Moksha. Yeah, the next parameter is health, which is how are you taking care of yourself? Are you going for your regular walks, or you have a healthy diet? Did you get your eyes tested, go to the dentist, check your blood pressure, all the things that you need to do to take care of your physical being. And then, of course, there's the mental, emotional part, which comes into the fun renewal aspect. How regularly do you indulge in something you enjoy? Have you vacationed? Do you have time for your hobbies? Is there something that makes you really happy? a space for yourself, which is the fun and renewal recreation part. So these are the 8 parameters. Now just go to the next slide, Moksha. So we show them the spider web. Once you've done your reading, you should be able to draw a spider web that looks like this. So, at a glance, you can see where you are. What does the snapshot of your life look like right now? Remember that this is just a snapshot. This is now in the moment today. It changes over time. It can change over time, and you can make it change also over time. So this is just a snapshot as of today. What does life look like? Yeah. Once you've drawn your spider web, can you give me a thumbs up, please, so I know that everybody is done? Can everyone just give me a thumbs up, or like I can't see you. I can't see all of you. So just give me like a thumbs up on the, there's this reaction icon. Yeah, that would be helpful once you're done. I see some people have said yes, they're done. Others are reflecting. If you have any questions, please go ahead. You can ask questions as well. So you're completing it. Thank you. I think a lot of people are done with the wheel of life. So it looks a little bit like this, like a spider web. Now, what does it mean? What does this whole thing mean? How do we interpret this spider web? So if you see the factors, the parameters group into 3 aspects of our life. There's the professional side of our life, there's the personal side of our life, and there is a journey of the self. So what is this professional journey that we're on? Professional journey is your academics and at work, your outside world where you learn skills, deploy them and leverage your capability. It is a continuous journey of balancing your skill level and the challenge level, which is how people grow in their careers. We learn something, we want to deploy that skill, we get better at it, we're able to master what we do, and then we look for the next challenge. This is how step by step people are growing. We handle more and more complex work as we grow and start impacting more people and things. This can by itself be a very absorbing journey. And sometimes it can feel like the only journey that we are on. Career, learning, and money are closely related to and part of this professional journey. The journey in the public space, outside, it's the outside external journey. On the other side, we have the personal journey. And you have love, marriage, family, home, and social and community life as part of this journey. Now, this is the space that we return to every day. We leave every day in the morning, we return to every day. We think of this as home. People here will need our time and attention. There may be specific roles and duties that we perform. Pressure on this personal space can often come when we have a very demanding professional journey and vice versa. So the pressure on the professional journey can come when we have a very demanding personal journey. So between this and the professional journey, it can sometimes feel like this, no space where there's nothing expected from us. But the personal journey can also be one of great joy and affirmation, where our social and emotional needs are met. So we have partnership, we have love, we have family, we have children, social and community life. All of this contributes to a sense of meaning, a different kind of joy that we have. And then we have the third aspect, which is, I find, very often neglected for women, which is the journey of the self. This includes our health, fun, recreation, and renewal. When we think about the journey of the self, this is what enables us to be in touch with ourselves, to know our strengths and limitations, build perspective, take the balcony view on our own busy lives. You know, it's a space of reflection and might express in different ways. So it might be running, it might be cycling, it might be some hobby, meditating, even cooking. It is different for different people. It's a space of communion with oneself. So for me, for example, it is dance. This is the reason I dance. I continue to perform. I teach dance because it's a space for myself. It is a space in which I can be at peace. It is a space that challenges me equally, but at the same time, I'm, doing what I want for myself. There's no clutter. There's no expectations. All fun, renewal, health activities come in here. This is what keeps us resilient. But unfortunately, I see many women neglecting this. So I have there's this coachee that I work with. She's a GM actually in a very large bank, and at that level, I didn't expect this issue to come up. But she was going for a conference in Europe, and she told me, confessed to me that she's going to take 3 days off after the conference to go see a little bit of Europe. But she had not told her daughter that she's going on this little holiday that she's designed for herself. She felt terribly guilty. She felt terrible so when her daughter asked her what it was, she said it's a work trip, which is saying, मैंने बेटी को अभी तक बोला नहीं है कि I'm taking 3 days छुट्टी. Now, this is unfortunately more common than one would want. I really want that we should be able to make this space for ourselves. If we are working hard, then we should be also able to create the space where we renew our batteries, get recharged. But unfortunately, we feel a lot of guilt about this. I'm not trying to make this universal or stereotypical, but this does seem to be more common among women. So these are the 3 journeys that we can think of, and the wheel of life really divides into these 3 journeys. So when we interpret it, I'm curious to know, what is your wheel of life skewed towards at present? Is it more towards the personal, the professional, or the journey of the self? We have a poll question for this, and I'd like to see, Preeti, is it possible to see the poll results for this one? I'd like to see whether it skews towards personal, professional, or journey of the self. Yeah?
Would you like to see it like right now?
Yeah, is it possible? I don't know.
Okay.
Is it possible to share it with everyone, the poll result? Or that doesn't work like that?
No, we can share it with like you, because it will be only with the hosts of the meeting.
Okay, understood.
But you would want this to be taken a little later, right? Because we have 2 questions clubbed together. Is that okay? Or you would like to have the poll question now?
Is it possible to have this separately, or
we could do it like post the session, if that's all right, like post your presentation, if that's all right.
Okay. No, I'd like to run the poll.
Okay.
But okay, fine. If they're clubbed together, then we'll do it post the session. That's fine. But in that case, let me just do a check around the room. Moksha, you can take the PPT off. I just like to see everyone, at least everyone who has the videos on. I'd just like to do a check around the room then. And would you like to share, where does it skew towards? Is it more focused on personal, on professional, or on self?
More focused on personal.
Personal. Okay. I see. Any particular aspect of personal, Snehal?
Family. I'm caretaking a toddler, so probably family. Yeah, there's more towards family.
How old is your toddler?
2 years.
Wow, okay. That must be that's a full-time job in itself.
It is.
It keeps you on your toes. Yeah.
It is, indeed.
Yeah. Relationships and family. Yeah, I have another one. Anybody else want to share? Anybody have a different skew?
Hello?
Yeah, Namita.
I think with me, it's more of the self journey, which is health and fun and recreation. And there is a reason behind it. For almost 5 or 6 years, I was a caretaker for my mother, who was unwell for a very long time. And she passed away last year. So that is when I realized how much I had ignored my own life. And today, if I have to get back into the workforce, I have to focus on myself, my mental health, my spiritual health, my physical health is of primary importance. Okay, so that and also keep some time for myself where I can focus on my hobbies or with my social circle. So that is my number one priority. And second would be my career and my long term growth or being employable in the long run. And third, in that 1 year, I've also set aside processes and systems in place, where my home can also be run in a smooth fashion. So tomorrow, when I get back to the workforce, the pre-preparation to make sure that my home is not ignored and I don't have to live with that guilt doesn't happen. So, I mean, I would say my number one priority right now is health, my own personal self journey, and my professional self journey. So that's it from me.
Thank you. Thank you, Namita. Thank you for sharing that. It must be quite overwhelming coming out of a situation like that. Elder care. Actually, for women, it's either baby care or elder care, or these are the most common reasons for taking a break. And it is a bit, it feels like, sar ke upar pani chala gaya, like when you're in that situation. And it's unreal to expect that we will just bounce back from that and like machines be able to get into it. It's unreal. So I think acknowledging this is lovely. Thank you. Thank you, Namita.
I think from bouncing back, I can just add to it. A recruiter told me once, "Oh, why didn't you just bounce back?" The reply that I gave this person is, imagine you cut your finger with a knife. Would you not put a band-aid on it? But life doesn't work that way. You need that time to just focus on yourself so that you can get back. गाड़ी को आगे लेना है तो उसको पीछे थोड़ा लेना पड़ता है.
Correct.
Backfoot जाना पड़ता है आगे जाने के लिए. So I mean
Correct.
that's just the way I see the situation now. Thanks.
Yeah. Anyone else want to respond to this or add their own point of view?
Hello.
Hello.
Basically, I have a different skew, so I would like to share my experience on
Yes,
that.
Megha, please. Yeah.
Actually, I basically I think that I'm in love with some guy of my college, and then I had a talk with a stranger who is different, who is not that person. So I realized that when I had a talk with a stranger. So this guy was very eccentric. He talked to me and very like he used to respond on the WhatsApp, and then actually I think that this was my school's prank on me or something like that, because after passing in school I was a very introvert kind of a girl, and I was not very people wanted to get into relationships with me, but I was not that open to them. I was not that I could not know how to how to answer to them when they approach me.
Sure.
So that was my issue during that time. So I don't know what happened. So there was a guy named he had some XYZ name. So this guy was there in a school also. So actually, what happened? The same name guy. I got in touch with him through WhatsApp, through a group only, through my class group, that we were about to meet that guy, meet everyone in a school group. So there were few people who were interested to get in touch with me. So I was the one who was hosting the meeting, like to meet those people and get in touch with them, everybody, and talk with them, and then get along with them, as we were not so open to them in school days. So what happened that this guy, his name was Kurlendu. So this Kurlendu Chatterjee, he was there in our school also. But he did not come for the meeting. But I asked him why you didn't join in, and what happened, like something did you suffer from something or something like that. We were there in town or just I asked him. So the chat went on, it went on like for a long time, and we had a talk with him I had a talk with him for a long time through only WhatsApp, and I called him one fine day. We received a call in the morning, and I found that person's voice is someone else's. So
Ouch.
yeah, that was a bit pinching, and actually, so this guy, the guy whom I had a talk with on the call. So this guy, I recalled him that we had met someday in a school event only. So this guy, I met him in a school event. So yeah, so I got in touch with him, and I had a talk with him. Then he was only listening to me. He did not like because I don't know much about boys until that time, until that point of time when I talked to him when I on call, and तभी हमको पता चला कि what boys are, and then
Understood.
when I got in touch with him, when I was talking with him, I could not get in touch with him. I was just talking, and at last, what he mentioned that you should not have done this. He told us. I did not understand.
So
There are many things.
Megha, clearly this relationship question is taking a lot of your white space. Yeah, it's taking a lot of your
I'm not
effort.
able to. Yeah, I'm actually not able to make myself clear of these things, like how to
Understood.
like declutter myself, and then get out that trash and do focus on my own like personal self.
Understood. So this is actually, so you got pulled into this one aspect. And what's happening to everything else in the meantime? You know, like what is happening to career, what is happening to health, what is happening to other aspects of your life. And this is the challenge we all face. There might be compelling reasons. There might be like really important reasons why we get pulled into it. Something urgent, something it's clear and present, and we have to focus on it. There's no other option. But then at the same time, so it results in some kind of imbalance, some kind of an up and down in terms of the wheel. But just remember that this is a snapshot. This is only one moment in time that it looks like this. And over a period of time, we can change it. We can make an action plan to shift the focus, to sort of zoom out and see where we want to go in life. And therefore, what do we want to do with all the other aspects of our life? Now, the thing is, if you want this transition to be successful, you've applied for jobs, many of you have applied, or you're going to apply for jobs. And if you're
Basically,
getting,
I'm in my last year of my engineering, so I'm applying.
yeah, from the time out that you have taken, you've been doing other things, your identity maybe around other things, and now that is going to get challenged as we make the shift. And as we transition, once we transition, this wheel is going to look a little bit different naturally. What will occupy our time, effort, energy is going to be different. So we need to we need to prepare ourselves for that transition and be clear on how we present our story in an interview, for example. Okay. So for this, I definitely need to do the poll, and I want you to respond to this. I want you to respond to these two questions, and we'll come back. Just a second, Janet. Hi.
Hi, Sangeeta.
Lovely to see you
Lovely
here.
to see you.
Very, very nice to see you. Yeah. Okay. Preeti, please share the poll. Yeah, Janet and I know each other from way back from our times in ICSI. So, yeah.
Oh, really nice. Nice to know that. Yeah, thanks. Parisha, is it possible for you to kind of launch poll too?
Sure.
Sure. So requesting everybody to participate. You all have just gone through this exercise, and we would like to know in which bracket, it is kind of skewed, your wheel of life. So what does your wheel of life skew towards, whether it's your personal journey, whether it's your professional journey, or it's the journey of the self. So requesting everybody to please participate.
So that is question 1, and please respond to question 2 as well. which is about what are you looking for in a job. So whether you're going from student life to work life, or whether you're doing a return to work, what is it you're looking for? Are you looking for job security? Are you looking for the opportunity to serve others? Are you looking for freedom, self-expression, challenge learning? Are you looking to make friends and build more relationships? Better lifestyle, maybe work-life balance. What are you looking for? There are a lot of options given here. Choose the top three. Which one are the top three drivers for you? Yeah.
Hello, Sangeeta ma'am. Kavita this side. Good morning. Ma'am, I have a
Yeah.
question
Mm-hmm.
regarding my confusion. I'm little from last year. I'm too much confused about my career, about my family, about my kids. I'm on my career break right now and looking for transition in data analyst or business analyst role. But I have a knowledge, but I am not able to focus on myself. I have done my business analyst from Triple IT Bangalore, and I have knowledge too. But sometimes I am getting confused what to do. I'm not able to focus on my kiddo. She's just below 5, and right now I handle my baby alone. My husband is living somewhere else, and I'm living with my baby. And no family member is going to support me. I have to just drop my baby and just do each and everything alone. So sometimes when I find something to read and just explore myself, I just bound in my boundary that I want to do a lot of things, but I don't know why I'm not able to do that. Somewhere, so my fear or what just guide me. I need guidance.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Kavita. Does anyone want to respond to her? I mean, this room is full of women with a lot of experience handling situations like this. Anyone want to respond to her before I get into it?
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, Mika.
Ma'am, I wanted to advise her like if she starts with multitasking, like basically like cutting vegetables, seeing her child also, then she start to enjoy basic things, right? Then she would be, she would be able to explore herself.
Okay. Thank you, Mika.
I think it's I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's
Deepa.
as being a mother, everyone goes through this phase. It's absolutely fine to feel like that. Okay, but just make sure what you enjoy to do with your child, so that you also get enjoy doing certain things, so that it helps you also, that your hobby or something. So involve your child so that you both are doing something like that, or your partner, it will help you to, or else find a set of friends or group where your interest matters to you, and where they exchange. So if they're friends which definitely drive you to do certain things, so they make a, you'll definitely find a time for yourself.
Yeah.
Kavita, may I ask how old your baby is? How old is your child?
She's below 5, ma'am. This year she will be in October. She will be 5.
She'll be 5. Okay. And when do you plan to return to work?
Ma'am, I'm ready to work, ma'am, but I didn't get any proper job. I'm looking for job in Delhi or NCR region, but all the software type of job, I have to just shift it to Bangalore or in Pune or somewhere else. I'm looking for a work from home opportunity or some freelancing type of project, or someone who can give me the opportunity to as an internship, because
Okay.
I'm on my career break from last 2 years, and the thing is, if someone is on career break, lot of things goes inside the mind. Somewhere, people do not share their feeling that I'm lacking somewhere. Yes, some fear that what I have to do if I didn't get any job, if I have to ask money from my husband or my family. Lot of things which goes inside my mind is I want to financially independent first of all, and just explore myself, because I have done my BTech in 2012. After that, I have joined somewhere organization, and in 2018, I become mother. At that time also I'm working. But
Sure.
in 2021, one incident came in my life and I think, oh, I need a break. At that time, I joined further study and go for that. But again, some family issue and some tragedy, you can say, came in my life and I'm not able to join anywhere. From that
Okay.
tragedy till now, I'm just emotionally breakdown. Just day by day, I'm getting down by down. What to do? What to do? If this will not happen to me, what to do? I've already done my PGTM also, and
Okay.
if I'm not successful in my life, how to handle my baby? If nobody get to come and support me, I have to just handle each and everything alone. Lot of questions comes in my mind, and I get a lot of pressure. Oh, if this will not work, what to do? So I need proper, because now I'm in a stage of 30 plus, and my age also in that way that if I join as an entry level,
Yeah.
that is also not good. Then suggest me what to do as a freelancing or as an.
So Kavita, firstly, let me just acknowledge that the phase you're going through is the hardest for most women. The first 10 years is when the career clock and the biological clock are clashing fully. Okay, they're going in opposite directions. Because, this is the time when you need to be building your career, but it's also the time when you want to have children. And when you can have children and raise children, this is what's going to happen. And it's clashing fabulously. Okay, it just comes together. So this 10 years is the hardest window of your life. This is the most difficult period. And once you're through this and your kids are just a little bit older and able to slowly work your way back to work, things are going to change. And let me share my experience. I've had, well, I don't have children, but there are times when I've had to give up the things that I care about. For example, when I was studying for my PhD, I too have always been financially independent, but I had to take a step back. My guide actually told me, you have to stop everything. You have to leave your dance because you are just busy going for rehearsals, and every time I ask for something, you say, I'm in a makeup room, I'm performing here, there. So he said, you have to leave your dance. You have to leave your consulting work. I continued consulting so that at least get some income, something happens. But all that I had to quit in order to write my thesis. And giving that up was not easy for me. It was very hard to do. But I knew that this is a phase. And for the moment, let me just immerse. This is what I decided I will do. Now let's get through this. And I did it. And then after that, started figuring things out. When I finished my doctorate, again, I interviewed. I continued to be on my own after that, but I still interviewed for jobs. Every few years, I go and interview and see what's happening, just to sort of keep my hand in and see if I'm employable or no. All I'm saying is, it can feel extremely overwhelming. It can feel like we're swimming against the tide, but this phase will pass. And this is only one point in time. What is lovely is that you are very clear on what your situation is. You're clear on what you want. You're saying, I want some work from home. I want an opportunity in tech. This is the kind of job that I want. This is the flexibility that I want. So you already have some clarity on what you're looking for. I think the path now is to, instead of getting back to full-time job, maybe you create some steps for yourself that will take you back little by little by little. Instead of jumping from one thing into another, it's like how Namita said, we need to find that way back. And that way back may not be a direct route, or it may not be just moving from one to the other. We may need an in-between space. Maybe that in-between space is to take up projects, go on sites that offer, like moonlighting opportunities, freelancing opportunities, do some freelance work, start getting into small projects that are doable, that you can manage with the way things are, and slowly you will find your way back into full-time work. I know it can be a challenge, but we can find a way out of it also. This is my point of view. Any thoughts, Kavita?
Yeah, thank
hope
you,
that
ma'am,
was
for
helpful.
guiding me here. Yeah, that was so helpful, ma'am.
I really hope it helps. Yeah, the point is that we should feel good about ourselves. what you're doing is fabulous. If you're raising children, this is a huge thing. And it's unfortunate that in our social system, we don't have a lot of support for this. Like, like in Sweden, for example, childcare, you get free, you get so many things from the government, you get so much of paid leave. There's so many things. There's a lot of social sanction given to motherhood, to parenthood, which we don't really have in our country yet. And therefore, because women have traditionally been taking care of it. And now it's changing, things are changing, which is why there's a challenge. But we'll swim through this. And I think things will get better. Like this, there's this Aspire for Her session. That you have made it to the session is a big thing. It's a very big thing. I can't tell you the women programs that I run, how many dropouts there are. Men show up, yeah. Men just show up. I don't know how they do it. But, career is important for them. They make the time, they figure it out. But yeah, women drop out so much because they're battling all these things. And just that you have shown up here, that you're part of this community is a big step forward. Just recognize that. Acknowledge that there are things you are doing which is moving you forward already.
Ma'am, your word really matter for me. Thank you so much for that much motivation.
Sending you lots of good wishes, Kavita. Hope you figure this out. And so quickly, can we return to the poll? Is the poll done? Did everyone respond to it?
The poll is done, Sangeeta. I'm not very sure if you're able to see it. Are you able to?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. This is very helpful.
Yeah, so there
I
are
see
about,
job security. Yeah.
yeah, I think most of them are looking for work-life balance. That's what I could see. And followed by challenge and learning, job security, a better lifestyle, and
Yeah.
contributing unique and original.
Super.
Yeah.
This is very helpful to know. So I conducted a similar poll for a group of young people. Work-life balance was nowhere in the mix. And job security was nowhere in the mix. Okay, this was for entry-level people. They all were looking for challenge learning. These things change. Okay, and
Right.
acknowledge that they change over time. But if we are clear on what we are looking for, we know how to tell our story. So as you get into this job fair, now you will have interviews. The thing is to be able to tell our stories in a compelling way. So for example, if work-life balance is the most important thing for me. If I go and tell in an interview that I'm looking for work-life balance, it will not cut it. What
Right.
we need to do is actually find out a lot about the company. What is their policy? Ask a lot of questions. Go on Glassdoor, mind LinkedIn. Find out what the culture is like of the company. Do they support returning women? What is that like? Have conversations with your potential boss, colleagues. Get a lot of information on whether you're going to be able to do this. Map what your work week will look like once you join, and find out whether you have the time to do all the things that you want to do so that you're prepared for the transition. If, for example, challenge learning is what I'm looking for, then the way I present my story is, this is why this job is important to me. So even if it's work-life balance, challenge learning, whatever it is, entrepreneurial creativity, whatever I want to do in my work, to tell this is why, what are recruiters looking for? They want to know that you have been on a break. Are you committed? Are you going to put yourself out there? Are you going to put in the effort needed to make it back? They're going to know whether you're willing to learn, whether you're willing to make the transition. So we need to show that, yes, you are committed. Yes, you are willing to do this. And this is why. So to lead with this point, that this is what I'm looking for in a job. I'm really looking forward to learn. This is important to me because, I want to do something more than only taking care of family or being at home. I see a part of my identity here at work, and this is why it's important to me. And this is a valuable thing to say to a recruiter, to show your commitment, to show that you are willing to sort of go the distance. Yeah. Any questions?
I think as expected, the skew towards the self is only 15%.
Yeah. It's actually very hard because there's a lot of conflict between personal and professional. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of a personal story here. I remember ICICI when I was working there, okay, a colleague of mine joined. ICICI is well known for the long working hours. It's no secret. People, and in those days, so it was crazy. Like when there were these mergers we were going through, there's a lot of growth for the organization, and things were a bit crazy when we were working over there. And there was people who were joining, and there was a colleague of mine who joined, somebody I knew from before. And she said that she left her previous organization because she was too stressed out and she was looking for more balance when she came into this job. And I was like, what are you doing? You know, why are you here? This is not the place. If you want to look for balance, this is not the job. If you want a stress-free life, this is not the job. And truth be told, she left. Within a year, she left the organization because it wasn't a good fit. But I loved the organization because at that point of time, I was looking for challenge and learning. I wanted to contribute something unique. I wanted to do something different. I was really excited. I've spent nights in the office, stayed overnight, gone back next morning, you know, quick shower and change and come back to work. I mean, I had that kind of energy and enthusiasm at that point of time. Can I do it now? No, I cannot. And since then, life has been sort of up and down. You know, it's not been linear for me. I have taken time out to dance. And when I dance a lot, which means I'm not making any money, I'll tell you, because dancers don't make money. Dancers just about get by. We don't make a lot of money doing shows. But I danced. I wanted to dance. I went abroad. I performed in China. I performed in Italy. I performed here, there. I've done everything, all of that. And I knew at that point of time, my colleagues, my batchmates, they were getting the corner cabin because they were becoming head HR here and there. They were traveling business class. But here I was doing, you know, I was performing and traveling in a second class AC in a train because that's what Sangeet Natak Academy will pay for when I go for a show. And that was okay. All I'm saying is these imbalances occur. It is not linear. Nobody's life is linear. And do not believe if anybody says it is a linear straight graph. It is never a straight line. And we need to be okay with that. And the way we are okay with that will show up in our stories, the way we present ourselves in interviews, in the job fair. So I'm conscious of time. It is 12 o'clock. So I'm going to wrap up here. There are a lot of questions that have come up in the chat also. And I'm happy to take some of those offline, or if someone wants to stay back, or if you want to write to me separately, reach out on LinkedIn, connect. I'm happy to connect with all of you and happy to chat, continue. There are personal questions that have come up, which we may not have time to address during the session, but happy to take this offline. And I'm just going to conclude with a few tips. If you can have the last slide, Moksha, just the last slide, and we close. Moksha? Yeah, I think the slide is now being shared. So a few things to do, certainly, as you step into this job fair. Please research the company, the job, and ask a lot of questions. Think about what is your dream job? What does that look like? What will the hours look like? What will the work look like? You know, be very clear about what you want going in. Visualize in detail what your work week will look like. Will you have the opportunity to get what you want out of it? Set expectations at home. There are some tough conversations to be had. People will be used to having you perform certain roles and functions. They'll be very secure and you know, this is probably a stable thing for you right now, but some reconfiguration may be needed as you shift into work. So these are some conversations to be had with spouse, with your family members. Understand the expectations at work, you know, not just your deliverables, but also how people work together in your organization. Speak to mentors if there are people, your ex-bosses, people that you worked with before. Reach out to them, understand what you need to do in order to succeed. More the information, the better. And set yourself up for success. Like what Namita said, no, I was so happy to hear that you invest the time to arrange things so that you can be clutter-free, both at home and at work. And I think this is important. We cannot just jump from one to the other. There has to be some time effort put to make that bridge. And it's okay to take that time to do it. So these are a few tips I'm going to leave you with. And thank you. Thank you so much for taking this 1 hour to spend with me. It's been enriching for me as well to hear your voices, and I'm very happy to stay connected and to keep talking. Over to you, Preeti.
Hello. Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, I would like to say one thing that we cannot jump on one thing to the other, but we can walk on two surfaces at a time. Like we can walk on sea also and sand also. So we can multitask.
Fully agree. I think that's what most of the people in this room are doing right now. They are
Sorry?
multitasking. Most of the people in this room, in the Zoom room, I think are multitasking. I think that's what they're doing right now. Yeah.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to ask the questions that you have, I do see a question from Sumaira in the chat box. Would you like to unmute yourself and ask the question? It always helps. We would like to see your face. We would like to hear you ask the question. Sumaira, I can see a question from you. Or would you like to ask your question to Sangeeta? You can unmute yourself and ask the question if you wish to. Okay, I think anybody else who wants to ask a question, you can raise your hand and ask a question. If Sumaira, you don't want to, I can probably put forth the question to Sangeeta. I think Sumaira's question, Sangeeta, is basically that, a lot of times when, women on a career break go for interviews, there are a lot of awkward questions which are put forth, like, if somebody is married and do not have kids yet, do you plan on having kids in the future? When is it? These kind of uncomfortable and awkward questions, how do you avoid them? How do you politely avoid them? She seems to have, she wants to have kids, but her partner is not yet ready for it. So something
Sure.
around those lines. How do you kind of politely handle these questions? That's the question she has.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, my mic wasn't working
Sure.
Sure, no problems.
You would like
So
to
I
add
think
anything,
before.
Sumaira? Yeah.
So that's my question. Thank you, Preeti.
Yeah.
Thank you, Preeti, for framing it that. Thank you.
Thank you for calling it out. I think the thing to do is take charge of our own narratives. Okay. So people will ask what questions they want. We have to tell them what we want them to hear. And I've seen people do this expertly. Okay. It's like celebrities in interviews, no? The media asks them any question about their personal life, but they only say what they want to hear. Like they say only what they want to share. They don't say anything beyond that. And I think so we need to be, so suppose somebody asks a question, why did you take a career break? Be honest, say this is why I took the break. I took care of an elder, or I took time out to have a child, or I took time out to get married and readjusted, I relocated, maybe that's why I took a break. Whatever is the reason, you can say it, be brief and move on and say, now I'm looking forward to getting back to work because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I'm married. Do you plan to have children? Perhaps in future. What I'm looking for right now is 1, 2, 3, 4 things at work. Push it back to the point. Like just don't worry. There is no need to feel on the back foot about taking a break. Or I think it's the chatter in our head that stops us from being able to respond like, smartly in the present. So just stay present, stay in the moment, and just you take charge of your narrative. Say what you want them to hear. Don't be
Yes, ma'am.
thrown by these questions. It's okay. So if they ask you, are you planning to have kids? Say perhaps. I haven't really given it that much thought, or even if you don't want to, just say perhaps in future. At the moment, here is what I'm focusing on.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I
ठीक है ना? ठीक है. That's a simple thing to do.
really appreciate that. Thank you.
We probably can take a couple of questions in case anybody has, if that's all right, Sangeeta.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, anybody who would like to kind of put forth your questions, any or any thoughts maybe on what Sangeeta just spoke about the topic?
Preeti, hi, may I speak?
Yes, please.
Yeah, the thought. You guys are having an in-person session in Bangalore. Why not have an in-person session in Mumbai also? Because these sessions are very valuable. it also allows you to network with people, on platforms like Zoom, you don't really end up networking, though you gain insights and gain a lot of knowledge. So just my suggestion, please have an in-person session in Bombay also.
Sure. Thank you so much for the feedback, Namita. So there are multiple organizations who are participating in this job fair, and for now they have chosen Bangalore, I guess, because a lot of organizations have presence. A lot of these organizations have presence in Bangalore, and their opportunities are also in Bangalore. For now we do not have that opportunity in Mumbai, but your point taken. We will definitely be having something else or another job fair. At this moment, we'll keep you posted. So we will make a note of what you just mentioned, and thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
So this job fair, what I have observed is very tech heavy, driven by the tech sector. A
Sure.
lot of us who don't work in the tech sector or never been connected with the STEM sector itself. Please
Right.
do something for people in banking, advertising, insurance,
Sure.
these sectors also. That's it.
Sure. So, Namita, thank you so much for sharing that as well. It depends on which organizations come forth, for participating for the job fair. We do have 24/7 AI, which does offer non-tech roles. Also we do keep sending emailers. So we just had HSBC on our platform. You must have seen that. So there were some banking, opportunities as well. So as and when the opportunities come forth, we will definitely, put forth the same. And we do understand that we do get this feedback that, that we do want non-tech roles as well. So it really depends on which are those organizations who come forth. And as of now, it's a scenario wherein a lot of tech organizations have those opportunities and are putting forth. But we will keep a note of both your feedback. One is a session in Mumbai, an in-person session in Mumbai, as well as more non-tech roles. We have made a note of it. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Any thoughts? Anybody would like to share any personal experiences? We would probably have another couple of minutes before we close. Or if you are not comfortable asking the question yourself, you can put it down in the chat as well. Okay.
Preeti and Sangeeta, I would like to share my story on this.
Sure. Thank you.
I'm blessed with 3 daughters, and when I delivered my 3rd daughter, that's when I took a 8 months break, and it was quite overwhelming. That 8 months went by so quickly. But at the end of it, I was like in a very bad shape, in the sense that physically I was not taking care of myself. So one day when I looked at myself in the mirror, I realized that, I was heading nowhere. 15 years back in an ICICI Bank, when I was working, the way I carried myself, the way I presented was very, very different to that state. So I realized that, the focus was not there. And as Sangeeta and I think some of you have also mentioned that the self-care was needed. So I took a very focused approach of taking care of myself by getting back to, physical fitness. I was representing India in hockey, and I realized that I have not done anything after getting married. So I started with my regular exercises, and I looked at the transformation, and it was so inspiring that, that is what gave me more encouragement. After I took care of the physical aspect and the way I appeared and everything. I then moved on to, doing e-learning exercises, and even reading articles on LinkedIn. That gave me a lot of confidence. I read stories about people, how they came back to work after taking a break. And that gave me inputs on, how do I tackle this now? What kind of roles I'm looking at? How much time I'm going to give? And what will happen to the remaining day? So organizing yourself was very, very important. Even if that meant that I woke up 30 minutes earlier than regular, gave up on my, that beauty sleep in the morning. But that 30 minutes was very important for me to make those things to do for that day. so that I don't feel guilty about not giving my time to the kids. And slowly and steadily, I started getting offers, getting interviews. But before that interview session also, I made sure that I practice interviews. Even if it was like, now we have technology in terms of recording yourself and then listening to yourself. And someone, I think on the chat also mentioned that, you know, the awkward questions like, you have 3 kids, that's fine. But the way you portray yourself by saying that these are my blessings, because sometimes we hold ourselves back and say that, oh, what they will think. No, but when you add those positive words about that, these are my blessings and I draw my strength from them, or the energy. So those are the, changes in the statements, what you need to do. So you'll have to write those statements and practice those, because more and more you start talking to yourself, that's when you'll realize that, the good things are lying ahead. And within a month, I was able to, be confident. When I looked at myself in the mirror back after month, I was very happy about the progress what I've made. So make those goals, make those, things to do list. If you have that list, you will be happy to go back and see, how you transformed. And the interviews, I feel the practice will make you perfect. Be confident, be happy about yourself, which will take it to the next level. When you go also for the interview, you'll feel the change in yourself. And even those awkward questions, when it is like, what did you do in those 8 months? So you frame those sentences beforehand, so that you know that what you're going to talk about. Don't talk about the things which, those 1 or 2 extreme days when you felt very bad, but talk about the positive which your kids have given you, those experiences to share, which will, turn around those interviews as well. And now I feel that when I was listening to some questions, that yeah, there were times when I used to cry in the washroom, saying that, oh, I'm missing my kids and all of that. So that will be a part of it. Okay, don't feel let down by saying that, oh, now what will happen? Can I go back? No, just hold on to yourself and keep your goal in front of you. I think that will help you a lot. And even after this session, if you all want to reach out to me, please do that on LinkedIn. I'll be very happy to support anyone.
How lovely, Janet, to hear your story. And I think what she did is so amazing, because she accessed who she was before. Like at one, especially for those who worked before, you were that way before. You were confident. You were, a certain way, but then it's changed, and now you feel differently in your body. You feel differently in your mind. But it's possible to go back to that. It's possible to sort of, the routines that you had then, the things that you did that helped you be that way. So if you can just revive that, my mother actually went back to her acting and stage life at the age of 58.
Wow.
After a 30-year career break. So, and she heads the theatre group at Shanmukananda. And in fact, they have a show in Pune this weekend. So she writes Tamil dramas and directs a play. She also acts. So she went back, and ironically, the play that she went back was with Amma Retire Agiral, which means mother is retiring. So that was the play that she performed in at the age of 58. It's doable. It's possible, is all I'm saying. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Janet. I mean, that's definitely a story that, will kind of resonate with the audience. So thank you for sharing the same. So I think if we do not have any more questions, we could probably close the session, if that's all right, Sangeeta. Yeah. So thank you so much, Sangeeta, for, such an insightful and enlightening session. What I'm sure there are a lot of takeaways for everybody, but, actually plotting those different aspects of our life on the graph really helped, because I'm sure, a lot of these things we are not very conscious about them. I mean, they might be there somewhere in the subconscious, but actually plotting it in the graph, helped us understand as to which aspects of life we are neglecting, and where we are more skewed towards and where we need to kind of bring back the focus. So thank you so much for sharing such a great tool. And another very valid statement that you made is life is not linear. That's so true. We all have our own ups and downs, and it's all part and parcel of life. How we kind of rise after the fall is what is more important. So thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you for taking out time. And we look forward to many more sessions with you and with the arts quotient. Thank you all for joining in. We hope to see a lot of you at the job fair in Bangalore, physically as well as at the virtual job fair. And if you haven't applied, please do make sure you apply. And like I mentioned, the job fair is not just only about jobs. You can come in and you can attend the job readiness sessions. You can take benefit from some of the flash mentoring sessions, and you could also have that opportunity to network, meet quite a few of us from Aspire for Her as well as all the other participating organizations. And we will soon come back with another session. So thank you. Have a great day. Thank you so much, Moksha, for
Hello?
Yes, Megha, do you have
Ma'am,
some
can I get in touch with Sangeeta ma'am through Telegram?
to Telegram? Sangeeta, would you like to, what is the preferred?
Telegram? I'm a little lost.
Okay, I think maybe LinkedIn would be better. I don't know, Sangeet.
I'm on LinkedIn for sure, so you can find me on LinkedIn. Megha can be in touch, not a problem.
Okay.
So Telegram is more like another kind of WhatsApp.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, but Megha, you could probably connect with Sangeeta on LinkedIn if that works. Or if you have any questions, you could also write into Aspire for Her. We will also get in touch with Sangeeta and come back to you.
Sure.
Yeah. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Moksha, for coordinating and for facilitating this. And look forward to many more sessions and all of you joining in for the job. Thank you. Have a great day. Thanks.
Thank you, Preeti. Thank you, Sangeeta. So nice connecting with you.
Thanks, Janet.
It's lovely to see you, Janet. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.